Hello, this is a video for Todd Ravito's SensorCraft. This video is assuming that you have Python downloaded and installed on your computer and the most recent version of SensorCraft cloned on your desktop. So with that, let's begin. For a computer scientist, code runs the world, but this is true for everyday people on planet Earth, even if they don't realize it. Code is in your refrigerator, your microwave, your car, your TV, you name it. Code runs the device. We live in a digital age. And one thing that is not apparent to most people is that when you have the source code to your device or game, you can do almost anything that you can imagine. Think about your favorite game. Wouldn't it be cool if you could make your character move faster, have more health, or do more damage? Games are one thing, but as a computer scientist for the government, having the source code makes it possible to verify the system performance and understand the weakness or strength of an algorithm. Fortunately, open source software exists and is thriving today, making computer programming accessible to everyone. For this exercise, we are going to use a simple for loop to build a wall by pushing the B key. To get started with this programming exercise, we first want to copy a document called main.py to a new file with a new name. So go ahead and open up a terminal. And like we've talked about in previous tutorials, you want to do cd change directory and go to your desktop. And then once you're there, you want to go to your SensorCraft folder, which is right here. And then, since we're changing a code folder, we will also want to go into the code directory, just like that. Alright, and then if we do ls, it will list all of the documents that we have in there. So we want to copy main.py, which will be right here. So we want to copy that. So we're going to do cp main.py, and we want to copy it to the name 01 building automatically underscore your initials .py. And there we go. And if we do ls, you can see that that document is now right here. So we want to open that. So we can go ahead and close the terminal, and we want to open idle. Okay, so now we're here. We can go to File, Open, and then Desktop, SensorCraft Code, and then the file that we just made, and it'll open that just like this. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that if we're falling out of the world that we can go back to the world, right? Because if we start making this wall, we jump over it, we fall off the world, we're going to be in a little bit of danger. So we want to find this function called onKeyPress, right? There we go, it's right here. So we want to come down here after this false thing. We want to add another LF symbol. So the button that we press is equal to key.y. So if they press the Y button, what's going to happen? Well, we want self.position, so we want the position of the person to equal 0, 0, 0. Right? So this will put them back at the very beginning. And then sometimes if you're going too fast, your velocity will actually prevent you from being sent back to the center. So we want to make sure that it slows your velocity down too, so that you can actually be teleported back to the center and you're not just going to be stuck there. So then this just gets your velocity and then sets it equal to 0. So there we go. But now, we want that B key, right? So we want to come down to the very bottom. We want to add another elif. So basically what elifs do is you have the first if, so you say if this happens, but then there's also if this happens, if this happens, if this happens. They're like a subcategory of the if. They're just a secondary if. And so then we want to do elif if the symbol is equal to the key of B. What do we want to happen? Well, we want it to build a wall, right? So we want to do self.build_wall. Right? But this build wall function isn't going to do anything yet, right? Because we don't have this build wall function. So we can press B all we want, but nothing's going to happen, right? So we want to go to line 857. Almost there. There we go, right here. And we want to make our build wall function. So I'm going to come up here. We're going to define the function build wall, and it takes an argument as self. And then it's a good idea to comment your code so that other people know what you're doing. So right now, this function builds a simple wall. All right, so we want to use a for loop. So for iterates through everything in a list or other type of data type. So if you're going to your fridge, right, and you're searching for yogurt, you're going to iterate through all of your items in the fridge. You're going to look at every item and determine, is that yogurt? And if it's not yogurt, you're going to put it back. And if it is yogurt, you're going to take it out. So we're saying for x in range, -10 to 10, right? So for every x value that's in this -10 to 10 range, we're going to do the following things. I'm going to scroll up. We're going to add a block from the values of x to -1 to -10, and we're going to make that stone. And we're going to do the same thing except x0, -10, right? So, two parentheses, x0, -10, right? So this one is one block below the surface. This is the surface. And the next one we're going to be is one block above the surface, the stone. And then self.model.add block, two parentheses, x1, -10, not 12. And we want that to be stone as well, right? So we're going to go ahead and save this, and then if we run it, right, and you can use the keyboard shortcut F5 if you want to. And so it might take a second to load, right? And then if you do B, it built behind this. So it'll build directly through the blocks that's under it, right? So if we start breaking these blocks right here, you'll notice the wall keeps going, right? We break these, the wall's there, right? And so right now it doesn't spawn where you're looking, it spawns at the coordinates set by the function. So if you want it to spawn in other places, you can just go change that -10, 10 range, and you'll be good. All right. So let's talk a little more about for loops, because we just kind of glossed over them. A for loop is a critical structure in computer science and is often used by programmers to repeat instructions over and over again, and usually increment or decrement a variable. So go back to the fridge example. If you're looking through your fridge, you're looking through every item, right? And you might look at the milk twice or something, but you're iterating through every item in your fridge until you find what you want. And that's the same thing. That's exactly the same how for loops work. And in this case, the variable is x, right? So for x, so the variable is x, and it will run over the range starting at -10 and ending just before 10, right? So notice that each iteration of the for loop, a block is added at a different elevation, -1, 0, or 1. And we're going to explain the three-dimensional coordinate system in the next chapter. So this is the end of part 1. Join us for part 2 right after. Thank you.